Welcome to Autodoc. Today I'm gonna try to give you some view on the topic how to use OBD2 scanners. Many people actually buying these stuff and they don't know how to use it. They just plugging the thing to your car or to their cars and just erasing codes, and that doesn't do anything. If there's a code, we have to find description of the code, what this thing is doing, and then trying to fix your car. So okay, I'm in my car now, which is BMW 2004 E46 with petrol engine, which is very important. It got 6 cylinders and 2 banks of exhaust. That means I do have 2 auto sensors before catalytic converter and 2 behind. First thing is to know your engine, what kind of engine is in your car, what it's doing, how it's working, what are the principles. It's the main thing before you actually buy these things and start using them to fix your car. As you can see, I got Wi-Fi, which is very cool to have. I can do some upgrades of the software. I can do some lookup for the codes using internet, which is very cool. Like this section, which is DTC library, I can use that to look up the codes. Here I can have some kind of info, like for people who doesn't know where to look for the OBD2 socket, which is usually inside the car, in the front of the car, somewhere near the driver, sometimes near the passenger footwell or glove box, usually somewhere here where the arrows are. It's also easy to find on the internet where the OBD2 socket is. First of all, what you can do is check the voltage of your battery, which is quite below 12 volts. Sometimes if the battery is below 12 volts, you cannot do any diagnosis, or you're gonna have more codes because of the flat battery. So it's good to have a charger, charge the battery, or keep it charging the battery, and then you can do diagnosis. Same thing as you're tuning the engine ECU, you should have your charger connected. Okay, I'm gonna use diagnose. I'm gonna pick the BMW. I can choose between automatically or manually, which is 3 Series E46. And we got 3 options to choose. Some devices have more options to choose, and some have just like engine, which is drive, and ECM, which is, let's say, computer of the engine. And is asking, before 2000 we used to have different OBD sockets. Each manufacturer have different kind of socket. Later they made it to one style, which is 16 pin socket, and it's universal for any car and is legal requirement. First thing what we want to do is actually read the codes. Most people do read the code and they judging by reading the codes and swapping the parts, buying parts, swapping the parts, and sometimes, or most cases, it doesn't work. You don't have to have a code where the engine is running, let's say, rough, or is giving not enough power. So sometimes codes doesn't have to appear, but you have a problem, and I'm gonna show you what to do next to find it. We don't have any codes. You can clear the codes when you're plugging the OBD2 first time. If you do have a code or codes, clear them, take the car for a drive to see if they're gonna come back, or maybe some gonna come back. Some might be old codes, someone didn't clear them before, etc, etc. So what we want to do is do live data stream. Engine operation data, oxygen sensor, this is very important. I'm using that data to always to find a problem. It's usually something to do with mixture. If you do have a check engine light while you're driving, that means there's something to do with emissions. There's a problem with fuel mixture, air fuel mixture. There's something wrong, the ratio is wrong, and that's why you have a check engine light. I can do actually each video about each of these topics one by one, explaining you what they're doing, why they're here, why they're important. It's not just like I don't know anything about that and just like let's erase the codes, and that's what most people do. So next thing what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you what I did in purpose. I disconnect one of the O2 sensors. The O2 sensor is actually sensor which is detecting oxygen in the exhaust. So if there's something wrong, it's gonna pick it up and show you in here. Adaptation of the mixture, fuel mixture, and which is short and long. If you master these things, you're gonna be better and better in diagnosing cars. So what we got now? My long-term fume trims, that's how they called, are a bit low, -6. That means car doesn't need that much fuel and takes it off by using injectors. And we see oxygen sensor 1 in bank 1 is not active, the other one is active because I disconnected. And this is what we got. I did it in purpose, but we can read the code, which is code 19, and we got activation oxygen sensor heater before catalytic converter bank 1, which means actually this heater circuit which is in the O2 sensor doesn't work, or there's a problem with connection, the whole thing doesn't work. But we don't want to just go and swap the O2 sensor, because there might be other problem like wiring, or there's a cracked wire or something. So we do want to have to check that. We can try to actually erase the code, right, and read it again. There's no code, but the engine is off. I'm gonna start it again and read the code again. Let's give it a few seconds. No. Yes, the code is back. So using the OBD2 scanner is not just reading and erasing codes, it's using all the data which we got here. Let's say oxygen again. We're gonna check that bank again, and we see it's not active. The other one is active, this one is not active again. We can actually check what the sensor is doing. Sorry, before the cat. This one, it doesn't move, but it's showing 0.43 volts. Doesn't mean this sensor is giving the voltage. It's the ECU or ECM which is actually trying to compensate and giving, like, let's say, default voltage. This one we can check on the graph, which is cool thing to have graphs. You can see it's actually working. There's no problem with that. The other one is doing what? Nothing, is flat. But it doesn't mean this auto sensor doesn't working. We have to check that. We have to open the bonnet and check a connection problem or something else. This one is actually disconnected, so this is very simple. Some cases I did in the past, like swapped sensors, the connections of the sensors between two banks, and the engine was running rough. Someone mixed it up and couldn't find the problem. Simple fix was to swap the connection. Anyway, what's the message of this video? This video is telling you that you shouldn't be only reading the codes. If you do read the codes, read them properly from the beginning to the end. If you don't know what they means, go on internet, try to look somewhere around the car you have, ask somebody, and they might give you some clues what to do. If you're not sure, if you clear the code, like I said before, if it's coming back, do live data read. You can see again, this one doing nothing, The other one is working, it's going up and down, up and down. It's not the sensor actually doing that, it's the ECU which is giving a bit more fuel and a little bit less. That's why we see something like this. The sensor is reacting and it's adapting the mixture. Guys, if you want to have more videos using OBD2 scanners and using them in real situation, let us know in the comment. I got loads of that. In the future we can do more videos, more clear to understand, instead of just like showing you what the numbers of, let's say, air mass, which is amount of air which is passing through the main pipe of the intake going into the engine. And if you do have a vacuum leak, that might change. That's gonna be picked up by auto sensors, and we're gonna see different adaptations of the fuel mixture. And sometimes if you feel that your car is running like rich, it's burning more fuel, you can see that here. Or if it's burning less, doesn't have any power, you can see that here as well. I went back, and another thing what you can do, and you can see diagnose and OBD2 or EOBD. And if you don't have time and you don't know the car model or something like that, and you can pick the OBD2, which is gonna connect you straight away to the ECU. We're gonna see different style of menu. It's gonna be more related to emissions. This is what I do mostly, and if there's like an engine problem and something to do with emissions, let's say a check engine light is on, this is what I do. First thing what I do is read the codes, BMW, which is P0030, which means the heater, the same thing what we saw before, but that was the different code style. We're gonna check that P0030, and we're gonna go to live. Again, we see the same thing. That's what I do. Long-term field trims, short-term field trims. If you don't know what's that, this is the best thing to do when you're trying to diagnose. Check engine lights, something related to emissions. If you don't have a code. If you want more videos like that, please give us some comments below and like, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.